Okay, we're here with Mr. Martin Grassl from Tequila, Porfidio, and just wanted to ask you a few questions. You're one of the ones that predicted the export market a few years ago. How did you predict that?
I think that usually fashion changes start out in the United States, and as you might remember, 10 years ago, tequila was a very cheap alcoholic beverage, mostly targeted towards college kids. What I tried to do in the tequila industry is to upgrade the image of tequila and give it its correct position within the range of alcoholic beverages. What I have to try to do in the liquor business is to produce a high quality tequila which is equivalent to any single malt whiskey and any cognac.
Very good. Was it a surprise to you to see the tremendous success that you had?
It certainly was a surprise to see the time frame in which the success happened. I never expected that high quality tequila would be accepted on the market within such a short period of time. We're talking about 5 years approximately.
Very good. And how are you producing tequila now? I've noticed you have some small production here.
Yes. The major differences in our production standards are that we do not use any water in the fermentation process. We're fermenting juices which are completely undiluted. Fermentation is temperature controlled, and in the distillation process we use ODV technology from Europe, which is used in Germany to make fruit brandies and in France to make fine cognacs.
And are you purchasing now from other producers?
We are not purchasing any tequila from other producers for the Porfidio brand.
So all your production is here?
All the production of Porfidio is here. Yeah.
So a very small volume?
Very small volume. Our volume is limited to only 150,000 liters per year, which is very small in comparison to other producers.
And how do you keep your consistency?
The consistency you keep by using always the same quality of agave, always having the same sugar level, using agave consistently from the same region, by fermenting consistently with the same bacteria, and by distilling according to the same process every time you distill. I think if you use the same, if you follow the same production process all the time, you get a consistent quality.
Very good. I think your packaging is dynamic. It's beautiful. How did you come up with the packaging?
Well, I think any packaging should correspond to its contents. If you have a product which is good in quality, you need a packaging which is good as well. Okay? So I tried to come up with a packaging which, number one, meets this criteria, and number two, fulfills the requirement of attracting the eye of the consumer. And I think Porfidio has achieved that through its packaging.
Very good. Now, why the cactus and not an agave in the bottle?
The reason why I put the agave inside of the bottle is because the cactus is a national symbol of Mexico. Wherever you go in Mexico, wherever you go in the world to a Mexican restaurant, be it in Japan, in Taiwan, in Australia, you always find the cactus on the outside for easy identification by the consumer. That's the reason why I put the cactus inside in the bottle, because once you see the product on the shelf, you immediately identify it as a Mexican product.
Very good. Now, how do you feel of the accusations from other producers of you misinforming the public, per se, how they...
I think that you always have those kind of problems whenever you have a successful product which is selling well, and whenever you win all the quality competitions over the competition. So it's naturally in any kind of business that you will be attacked. No?
Right, that's true. Now, many producers dislike you, I guess, because of that.
Many producers dislike me because I'm not Number one, I'm not a Mexican, and number two, I'm not from the state of Jalisco. You know, the tequila industry is a very small town industry, mostly concentrated in the countryside. And for those kind of people, anyone coming from outside of the state of Jalisco is a foreigner. If you come from Mexico City, you're a foreigner. So if you come from a foreign country altogether, it's even worse. And obviously many producers which have been in the business for 3 generations do not take it with ease that somebody young from Austria comes and teaches them how to make high quality tequila and what tequila should taste like. As you may remember, I've completely changed the taste profile of tequila in Mexico.
Very good, very good. So you have made change for the industry.
I've made many changes in the industry, and everyone in the industry is trying to imitate my production style. Whenever I come out with a new style, with a new aging technique, with a new production technique, the competition, which is natural, tries to imitate the style. That's why it is so important to always keep developing new products and new techniques, because you always have to be ahead of the competition, not before they imitate it too much.
Right. Well, and that's a compliment to you. Are you a member of the Cámara?
No, I'm not a member of the Cámara.
No. Do you think they would help you, or you don't care to be part of that? Or
Unfortunately, I faced a lot of hostility from the Cámara over the last decade, and I certainly do not want to form part of the organization.
Really? So they have not wanted you as a member?
They have not wanted me as a member, and I certainly don't want to be a member of them.
That's very interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. Any new products in the horizon?
Certainly, there are a couple of new products coming out for next year. Yes.
Very good. Yes. And I've noticed your big market is like Japan and the U.S.
Japan and the U.S. are the major markets, approximately on an equivalent level. Mexico is a very big market, especially Mexico City and all the coastal areas. Ironically enough, our smallest market in Mexico is the state of Jalisco. That's the smallest market.
That's interesting. Now, like I mentioned before, you have some dynamic marketing. How do you feel when they say that you are selling bottles, not selling tequila?
I think that you can only sell bottles for 1 year, because if you buy a product just for the bottle, you buy it once, but you're never going to buy it again. Based on our sales results, our sales have been increasing in the range of 100 to 150% per year. It is obvious that you cannot sustain such growth without packaging on it.
That's right. Now, have you been affected by the shortage of agave, or the apparent shortage?
I think I'm the least affected by the shortage of agave, because I'm in the high quality end of the market. I think the most affected parties to the crisis are the value branded tequila companies. Now, if you look at Cuervo, Sauza, Orendain, Cazadores, those are really affected by the crisis. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the agave increase is marginal in my case, because I've always been buying agaves which are much more expensive than the industry standards in order to maintain a certain quality.
Very good. And what do you look for in agave? High content of sugar?
What I look for in agave is number one, maturity, number two, high sugar content, and number three, no virus infection. Very important.
Are they actually selling the ones that are affected by the virus?
Yes, certainly. I would say nowadays you're looking at, 70% of all agave which is sold is virus affected.
Very interesting. Yeah. And what are your goals? Your goals for the rest of the year?
My goals for the rest of the year to keep improving my products and bring out better products every year.
For the next 3 years, I would say, where do you want to be?
The next 3 years, I would certainly like to move as you have seen, I was the first one to introduce the $100 segment in the market. 3 years ago, I moved into the $500 segments, and this year I moved into the $1,000 acres. So I think the idea is pretty much move up the scale, keep moving.
Very good. And there is a market.
There's a market.
There's a market. Very good.
There always a segment of the population who has the money and the willingness to buy the best which is available at the moment.
Very good.
What other tequilas do you like personally? Which ones you feel are kind of up there with your?
I think Nieco tequilas and Reposado tequila not, because the aging in Mexico is archaic. Blanco tequilas, I think Siete Legos is a good Blanco tequila. El Tesoro de Don Felipe is a good Blanco tequila.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Mr. Grassl.
Okay.
We appreciate your time. In terms of pairing foods, how are you doing that? Do you see certain foods other than Mexican foods that you're pairing?
Yes. Always spicy foods, but a mixture between certain influence of Asian cuisine blended together with Mexican cuisine. And Asian cuisine, specifically Thai cuisine. So we try to make a certain Asian novel cuisine mixed with Mexican novel cuisine.
Very good. That's interesting. Also to Japan. I mean, I know they are very, very avid cognac drinkers. But do they pair with sushi and their foods there?
Certainly they do. Certainly they do. And the Japanese in particular have the habit of drinking hard liquor with their lunch and with their dinner, as opposed to the Americans or European tradition of drinking wine with your dinner. That's the major reason why Japan is one of the big hard liquor markets in the world.
Very good. Very good.
They like to buy the best.
They like to buy the best, and within that philosophy, I try to target them towards switching from cognac to Porfidio tequila. No, I mean that's the real objective. No, I mean if you spend the money for $2,000 bottle of cognac, why not try it with a $2,000 bottle of tequila? No?
Right.
And I think the market acceptance is there, and I think the acceptance is growing. No? The only question is how long is it going to take us to get on an equal level in cognac and single malts?
Very good. And that's your goal.
That's my goal, yeah. That's absolutely my goal, now to be up there with the finest single malts and finest cognacs.
Very good. So you're actually helping the industry bring up their standards.
That's what I'm trying to do, yeah. I'm trying to, when I came to Mexico and looked at the tequila industry, what I saw is that the industry was 40 years behind, and everything was targeted towards making a tequila as cheap as possible. With any tricks you can use, make it as cheap as you can, satisfy the market. No? And my belief is that there is a market for high quality, expensive tequila.
Hence your success. Very good. Very good.
Do you like spicy food?
I like spicy food.
A lot of chile.
A lot of Chile, a lot of Thai food, a lot of Mexican food. No?
Very good. Well, we really appreciate your time. We appreciate you giving us your time and personally taking us around. Very good.
Anytime.
Very good.
Muy bien.
Muy bien, gracias.